Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Tia Mowry, My Next Act, Season 1, Episode 2.
Listen here, I need you to do a couple things. I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. You ready, Blair?
Yes.
Let's go.
So Tia is grateful that her friends threw her a healing party. She was not feeling the wedding dress getting burnt up in the fire.
Really?
But it did make her start thinking, and she wants to repurpose her wedding bands into something for her children.
How do you feel about that?
I thought that was pretty nice. Since she said she hasn't worn it in about 2 years.
Yeah.
So, she says her children are her biggest gift, out of her relationship. So I think that it's a sweet gesture to say that something good came out of the marriage. So let me use something that was born out of love, which was the ring that Corey got her, to give to our children who are born out of love. So I thought it was sweet.
Hey, just give me back my ring.
Okay.
Okay, give me back my ring, or at least involve me in the process of when you repurpose the ring for our children.
See, I don't know. I feel like it's a gift to her. So it's hers to do what she wants with it, right? Even after 20-something years?
Give me my ring back.
Okay.
Okay.
So Tia gets to the jeweler. He tells her congratulations on her divorce. And she actually really appreciated that comment and let him know, because people can, have a tinge of sadness when she says it. And she appreciated that he congratulated her. She said, it's like I'm sitting in front of a therapist. I was like, maybe you need to.
No. First of all, that's your problem right now. Because now you're looking at everybody and everywhere for therapy. And now you think the jeweler is a therapist. It's like, no, you need to go to a real therapist.
Yeah. So she remembers when Corey proposed in 2006. It's hard for her to not think about what he would think, but she knows that she needs to make a decision for herself when it comes to the rings.
That is true.
So the design they end up coming up with is a dog tag for Cree and a bracelet for Cairo.
I like that.
Yeah. So Tia tells Ciara that the healing party was great. And Ciara asks her about the pickle gift, if it's gotten any type of use. And Tia is pretty much just like, she needs a warm body attached to it. It's not going to do much for her with that.
Okay.
So Ciara brings up how they should explore new realms of dating. So she talks about doing speed dating.
Okay.
Tia touches on how she was allowed to date at 18. She got into a relationship at 20. So she really didn't experience being single and dating. The first thing after her divorce she did was get on the dating apps, and it was a terrible experience. So now she calls herself taking a break from dating.
Yeah.
One guy that she met on the apps was a fan of Sister Sister, and that weirded her out.
Of course.
Tia explains how she was raised to date to marry. So Ciara is trying to explain that, look, this isn't anything deep. You're just going to go out, talk to some people, have a good time. And if there's anybody you like, that's a plus.
Okay.
So she is going to have to change her mindset about dating to marry. She talks about how her parents were in the Army, and it was a rule in the house that she couldn't date until she was 18. Okay. But when she turned 18, they were pretty much just like, okay, go ahead, go date. And she really had no rule book, no understanding of what dating was.
Yeah.
Tia doesn't want to go speed dating, but she knows that she needs to take some baby steps to put herself out there, because ultimately she doesn't want to die alone. So she agrees.
So what is your thoughts on this whole scene with her and Ciara, with the whole, like, they wanted me to burn my wedding dress, but I didn't. It was a good day. And now she's with her assistant / friend or whoever she is. Yeah. And things of that nature. And now the friend is kind of leading her back into the dating scene. What is your thoughts on that?
I thought it was a good gesture.
Yeah.
So that way Tia could get out and kind of explore different flavors without really being invested in a person. Yeah. Just get to know people, see what personalities you like, what personalities you don't. Of course, these are first impressions, so you're not getting that deep into who the person is. But I agree with Ciara. It's kind of like just working a muscle and just kind of learning to, get the balls more rolling or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So you can work out any kinks that you might have when it comes to dating. Because yes, there might be certain things about the guys you don't like, but you might not be the best dater either, since you don't have that much experience. Yeah. So get out there, talk to people, and see how it goes.
Tia, I wonder how many people you talk to. And when I say people, I mean married people, because it seems like, let's start from the beginning. This whole thing where it was the marketing and the promotion where she was like, me and my sister is not as close and things like that. And she tried to walk it back, and she kind of walked it back, kind of didn't, and things of that nature. Tamera found out about the show when we did. So she didn't even know they was filming. So that already lets me know, like, that's kind of strange. It kind of put a bad taste in my mouth personally, because I'm like, it kind of look like you're kind of profiting off of your divorce. But that's just my opinion and stuff like that. Because I'm like, for someone that's going through divorce, someone that's going through such a rough time in their life, I would think that they would lean on their family, on their sister, and things of that nature. But it seems like she's leaning more, based on the show, on her single friends. And if there's anything I know, single people will keep you single. Right, Ciara over here guiding Tia on how to date and things of that nature, and all these things. Mind you, Ciara's not married, nor does she have a man. She says she's single.
Yeah, she says she want to find love her own self.
So she want to find love her own self, but yet she's burning wedding dresses, or at least throwing the idea out there. I just feel like Tia was sold a dream, and I feel like
by her single friends,
that, hey, you're going through this in your life. Oh no, girl, stand up for yourself and things like that. Like, come, it's fun where we at. Where secretly all these single people want the same thing that Tia already had. I just wonder. Corey came out and said it wasn't infidelity. Tia came out and said it wasn't infidelity. I really wonder, was there any chance if she was talking to the right people for her to save her marriage? And I wonder if that is some of the remorse that she have when she be in her room crying to a camera.
Well, that might be a thing as well. She might, as far as, if we're speculating, I could imagine that she's probably talked to married people and single people, and the married people probably told her to work it out, but she didn't want to listen. So I can imagine that would intensify any type of regret or things that she's experiencing, because she probably had some people in her life tell her, just try to work it out. And I just found it very funny that her little party that she had was all by single people. Also, dating to marry, even though I feel like she was married for, I think, 20 years or things like that, dating to marry may seem like, okay, you should date to marry because she said she don't want to be alone. But at the same time, I do agree with the working out the muscle of dating. Don't think of dating to marry in the moment, because that's exactly what you did when you was 18 to 20 years old to 25 and things of that nature. But I do think that Tia do want to be married again. But I really don't know how that's going to work now, because it just seems like she's very remorseful about her divorce and marriage altogether. And for me, when it comes to the dating to marry, like, I think that is very possible. But you just kind of have to realize, like, not everybody you meet is going to be your husband.
No.
But you can have a good time getting to know people, going out, having experiences, and also still vetting the person to see if there's somebody who would fit into your life long term. So I think that it's a way to do it both ways, but without putting so much pressure on yourself. I think with I'll go further in once you get to the dates.
Okay, let's go.
So Tia calls her friend Natasha. She says that she can lean on Natasha. Natasha protects her heart. She fills Natasha in on the fact that she is going speed dating, and Natasha helps her pick out an outfit. So Natasha gives her some questions to ask him if he is secure. Does he have any children? Can he handle dating someone of her status? And then Tia practices with the crew, and I'm just like, that's not quite how you do it. Because she's like asking, like, literally, can you date someone of my status? And she's like, ooh, that sounds so full of myself. And I'm just like, yeah, like, you can be like a little more coy about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to come right out and say it just like that. But I think that's where it goes into Tia needing to work out the kinks within herself when it comes to dating. So she is just really nervous. They end up getting to the speed dating. The first guy she meets is Luigi. He's from Italy. There's like a lot of laughing and smiling, but Tia felt like he was too tiny.
Okay.
One guy, when Tia introduced her name, said, oh, like Tia Mowry. And she was like, yeah, that's me. And then she slid down in the seat embarrassed. I'm just like, Tia, people know who you are. Like, please don't allow that to stop you from dating people because they know you. And
that's probably one of the benefits of you being with the guy that you was with before.
Right.
And things of that nature. Before you became bigger than what you are right now and things like that, you was 20 years old. So even though you was coming fresh off of Sister, there was still some innocence to you out in the dating world. Now you done things you done sister, and you done the game. You get what I'm saying? So people know you, and they like the guy say, oh yeah, like Tia Mowry, yeah, you look just like her. You get what I'm saying? like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So she feels overall some guys had potential.
Yeah.
Some guys she would probably stay another drink for, and then some other guys were not her type. But she says honestly, none of the guys were her type.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I actually just thought of it. Even with the game been off for a while and things like that.
Yeah.
But the real been out, right? If you see Tamera, you think of Tia. Dude, right. You get what I'm saying?
So Tia don't even have to be on the show.
Exactly.
For you to think of
so
her.
like Tia's been basically been recent and been basically like not in the past because Tamera been on TV and you can't think of Tamera without thinking of Tia. You know what I'm saying? Because they are one of our famous twins in the country. You know, so that sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't even hide.
Right. So she wants a guy who's tatted, funny, kind of has like bad boy qualities and edge to him a little bit.
I wonder where that came from because I'm like, I was looking at pictures of Corey. I'm like, Corey, where your tattoos at, buddy?
Yeah. She learned that she would never do this again. One of the guys asked her for her number and she said, you know, instead of giving somebody your number you're not interested in, just take their number. So she took his number, but she ain't gonna call because he's too young for her. My thoughts about it, I thought that it was cool. It was nice for her to get out there and kind of like get the shakes out. But I also feel like I don't think Tia really knows what she wants.
No,
and I hear what she's saying she wants, but I'm just like, as a successful millionaire woman, why you want a hood dude?
She said a guy with edge and tattoo. She did not say hood.
I think she said hood. I think that was one of the qualities. So I'm just like, Tia, where are we going with this? Like, I understand what you're saying you want physically, but what are the actual like characteristics and quality of the person you're looking for?
She wants a better Corey because that's the only metric she has of a man that she's been with.
Okay.
So everything else would just have to be at least for fun. If this is supposed to be fun, she's not dating to marry right here, right?
Yeah.
She just wants someone, okay, you know what? I never had chocolate before. You know what? I never had a vanilla swirl before. Like, she just like for someone to be fun. Oh, I take the hood dude. I take the tatted dude. I take the guy with edge and things like that. But it's to your point. She don't know what she wants. So she just like, it's speed dating. I'm just letting Ciara guide me.
And that's why I think that she needs Patty. I don't know if Patty is still doing Millionaire Matchmaker.
Oh, no, not Patty.
I'm like, you need Patty. You need somebody to sit down with you, actually be a guide to dating. Find really great eligible people for you to mix and mingle with, for you to go on dates with, and then also to give you some rules around dating because she doesn't quite know what she's doing. So I'm just like, I feel like Tia needs a more structured form of dating, like an actual matchmaker to guide her in the right direction and to find the great picks for her, because I know we're going to see her friends do some picking for her, and some of the guys that made it to the dates, I was like, I don't even know why y'all chose them. So I was just like, I get y'all say y'all know Tia, but I don't know. I don't know. I was like, you need a matchmaker, girl.
We'll see.
So let's see here. So Tia, Natasha, and Ciara meet up for lunch.
Okay.
She catches Natasha up on how speed dating went. She said it was hell. And I was like, it didn't seem like hell.
No, it was hell. Stop it.
It was?
Like, what did you think was going to happen on speed dating? You thought she was going to meet a match?
I just thought she was going to meet people, learn about people, have a good time. I thought it seemed like it was okay.
Speed dating is something that I would like to do with you. As in speed dating is just something for fun. We just go out and just see if you can talk to people for a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
And I thought she accomplished it.
But it was hell. She's trying to actually find somebody.
Okay, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like me, I'll do it just for fun and things like that. I'm not trying to pick up nobody. That just seemed like something fun to do, not to find love and things of that nature.
Yeah. Okay. And y'all, we ain't going speed dating. So
I would really love to go speed dating. I'm not even going to hold you.
We're not going speed dating.
That's why it would be fun. Two married people going speed dating to see what would happen.
Oh my gosh.
That would be fun.
Okay. Anyway, so Tia shares that she met a guy from an app who came out wearing a grill, took the girl out to eat. So she's really off of the whole Raya dating app type of scene.
Okay.
Ciara says, well, maybe you just need some time for yourself. Maybe do some self-care, self-work. And Tia says that, people, they always say that self-love is important, but she gets a little teary-eyed and she's like, well, what's wrong with saying that you want a partner?
Wait a minute.
And Natasha says, you're lonely. And Tia talks about how she has a great life, but one thing she doesn't have is love, and that's what she wants more than anything.
Now I'm confused.
And Natasha tells her, look, you feel lonely even though you have a tribe. Tia is tired of feeling lonely. Natasha talks about how she was single for 9 years after her relationship, and it's like a storm that passes. It can be depressing, it can be heartbreaking, and she tells her there is a shortage of good men.
I have a question about Natasha. And did you get the feel? She said 9-year relationship, right?
No, she was single for 9 years.
No, I mean, excuse me. She was single for 9 years after a relationship.
Right.
She didn't say marriage.
Right.
So I'm getting the feel that she wasn't married.
I don't know for sure.
No, but that's why I said we're going with feels.
Okay.
Right? So it's not the same, Natasha. As much as you try to compare your relationship and things that happened in that relationship, and you were single for 9 years after the fact, I don't know if you have any children from that relationship. I don't know if y'all brought a home in that relationship. I don't know if y'all basically was together since y'all was 20 years old in that relationship. This is very different. And I feel like the wrong people are guiding Tia through this storm and things of that nature, because being divorced with having multiple kids, growing a house and things of that nature is very different than just being in a relationship and then breaking up and then being single for 9 years after the fact.
Right.
Like it's not, it may look the same on the surface, but there's deeper roots in it, and I feel like she needs to talk to other divorced people, not her single friends that never got married and things of that nature. Now, if I'm wrong about Natasha, that's on me, but as far as I know, if I feel like that she was married, I feel like she would let with that. I feel like she would have been like Essence to say I was divorced and things like that, and I got through it, but I just feel like the wrong people are guiding her through this thing that Tia's going through.
Well, Tia says that she hates when stuff like this happens because it makes her feel like she made a mistake to get a divorce. The only person she ever loved was Corey. Just because you aren't together doesn't mean there's no love there. He is still in her heart. So to think of someone else also just makes her feel weird. But love is not enough to stay in a relationship. Because she wanted love so badly, she would allow anything and anyone in when she first started dating. But Natasha tells her, now you dated, you had some experiences, now it's time to know your value and to be selective. So Natasha asks for Tia's phone, she reinstalls Raya, and Natasha and Ciara are going to screen some potential suitors for Tia.
And that's what I was thinking to myself, because when Tia was basically opening her heart saying she felt like she made a mistake getting a divorce and things of that nature, Natasha Ciara was like, girl, you didn't. No, you thought about this, and this was a decision that you was pondering on and things of that nature. And that could be true, but at the same time, two things can be the same. You get what I'm saying? Because if she was talking or getting counsel for married people, which we don't know, but I'm taking that guess, if she was getting counsel for married people, one thing married people will do is be like, hey, they are for marriage. You get what I'm saying? So they would be like, is there a way that you can reconcile this? And based on their divorce, they say they couldn't reconcile with whatever it was. But single people will be quick to get you single while they are on the journey for them not to be single. So that's why I'm like, my eyes are very, especially on Ciara, my eyes is very like, I wish you was talking more to other people based on what we see. We even see like scenes where she will be talking to other people about what she should do and things of that nature. And I'm just like, hey, maybe you need to talk to your sister. Or maybe you need to talk to other people, maybe a real therapist and things of that nature, you know?
So Tia and her business partner are creating a hairline. She is going to have to do 11 videos for the hairline. And just the thought of that feels overwhelming to her because she's running a business, being a mom, also being an actor. And with all that, she's wondering who has time to date. And I was like, people who make time to date.
Yes, exactly.
So Ciara and Natasha are doing the pre-screenings. They found 4 guys who they feel like will meet her standards. They don't know that they're going to meet Tia. They are going to be surprised when they see Natasha and Ciara there.
Because they thinking they meeting Tia, but then they like, oh no, there's two Tias. Okay.
So we come up across the first 3 guys. They're asking if the guys work out. They're getting their ages, their heights. Gianluca, they feel like, is the more soft romantic type. They thought that he would be a great fit because of that. Phil is from Summer House Martha's Vineyard.
Hey, Phil
pooped in a toilet and left it for Nick to clean up.
Wait a minute, that was on
because
he changed
because he felt like Bria should have gave him that room or saved that room for him. Why is Phil here?
Because
is Phil an actor? Is that why Phil is here?
This is not Summer Yard Vineyard. This is T.S. Mowry next act.
Phil is a fool.
I will not judge and hold Phil to the wrongdoings that he did on that canceled show.
So they feel like Phil is a good match because he's tall. He says he's an entrepreneur, and they think he's funny.
And that also, just on the sidebar, on a serious note, this kind of let me know, all this is for fake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all this is just for entertainment. You know?
These guys are like in their early 30s. I think we saw like a picture of her turning 40. Mm-hmm. So maybe she's in her late 30s by this time. I could have sworn she was in her 40s. Like,
Tia is 40.
Though. Yeah.
Tia is 40 plus.
Yeah. Then they meet this guy named Joey who is they feel like he's sophisticated and mature. Mm-hmm. He says that he's protective of his loved ones. Mm-hmm. Phil is talking. He doesn't like giving gifts. And he's wondering, why am I giving gifts? Am I getting caught for something? He broke up with his ex because she got an abortion, and he's wondering, so why you get to keep your white kids, but you got to get rid of my black kids?
Okay.
To them, that was a red flag. Phil had to go.
I feel.
Yeah. Gianluca. He says that basically he was saying that he broke up with his ex, and they didn't like that he said that. They felt like it made him sound like full of himself. I was just like, y'all kind of reaching with that one. But
no, I mean, what do you expect from two single people trying to basically screen somebody for somebody else to be in a relationship? They don't know what they're doing in their own life, so they trying to do it in somebody else's life.
Joey is talking about how he is impressed and annoyed with the friends because they hijacked Tia's account. He thinks that if he gives a compliment, they should say thank you. Basically, he was like, I got hijacked by some like good looking catfishes or something like that.
That is true.
Beautiful catfishes. And they were just like, okay, like continuing their questioning. And they were just like, you know what? You're getting a little bit too hostile right now. You got to go. So none of the guys were a good choice. Natasha said Joey really pissed her off. But they prayed that the next guy is the one. We don't get to see his face, but he walks in and it seems like he made a good first impression.
Yeah. I'm with Joey. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm with Joseph. If I clicked on your page and then I see two people there, I'm like, I didn't come here for a job interview. I came here for a date.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, I'm getting screened by two single people. I really think
Natasha's in a relationship now, is what she was saying.
She ain't married. So my whole thing is, hey, happy for you, Natasha, and things of that nature. But my thing is, hey, maybe you should be cultivating that relationship so you don't have to be single again for another 9 years and things of that nature. My thing is, Tia, I think you're getting bad opinions and bad advice from people who haven't been where you've been. You get what I'm saying? If Essence was there, maybe I'd be like, okay, that's a little good. Maybe someone older and things of that nature, not your assistant buddy. You get what I'm saying? Because I think the lines get a little blurred.
They really do.
Because I'm like, do you work for me or like?
Are you my homegirl?
Are you making me do things? I don't really know what this relationship here is. You're fired. You get what I'm saying? So, and it just came off, especially when Phil came out. Not a lot of people know who Phil was. You kind of messed it up for them, Blair. Was that it comes off now that you're doing this for show. That, 2 years later after your divorce and things of that nature, that you are basically like, oh yeah, I'm ready to come out, y'all. And these are the people. It kind of feel like you're not really ready. You're just trying to capitalize on you getting a divorce. And truth be told, it was your marriage and it's your divorce, and you could do whatever you want with it, to be honest.
Absolutely.
What is your thoughts on the episode?
Overall, I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
It just further reinforces the fact that Tia is kind of lost in the wind right now. Yeah. Which, I feel like is a normal part of a transition in life.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I also feel like I don't think she is talking to the right people. I think she needs to speak with people and actually get direction from folks who, a therapist, to be honest. Yeah. Like that's step number one, get a therapist and actually work through your emotions so you can be healthy and happy and open to dating and not being so critical of people and cutting them off before they have a chance to show who they are as people. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, and if you want a real person, don't go speed dating. Like, you have to accept the fact, and that's one thing I also wanted to touch on. Then I'm out of here. Is that this idea that she thinks that we viewed her as like this white picket fence person? I'm like, I think those are things that was put in your head and things of that nature. And I'm like, I can get it when you was 14 on Sister and they kind of grew you up with the whole, you know, going on Disney and things of that nature. But we known you also as Melody off of the game.
Yeah.
So like we kind of know you as like you got an edge to you. Exactly. We don't know you as a kid. We know you as a grown woman. So this whole like innocent act of like, I'm like the white picket fence and I'm supposed to have the perfect relationship. We did not put that on you at all.
Yeah, I was just like, who said
we saw you with Derwin the whole time? Okay, we saw you with Derwin. Okay, so don't even play that whole like, you know, prissy type of girl. Like we respect you as an adult and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
Listen here, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, and we'll be back next week. Y'all be good.
Bye.